The following may contain language and subject matter which is not appropriate for all audiences. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us once again here on the Low Fact Podcast. The usual suspects, Andy, Matt, and Dave.
Huzzah!
Here to talk about our one topic for 9 minutes or less. And here's the topic.
So much pressure.
Simple solutions for complex problems.
Let's try that again.
How can we fix Dave's mouth?
Simple solutions for complex problems.
All right, what's a complex problem?
I don't think that there's such a thing as a complex problem.
What do you mean? Like everything's a simple answer?
I think everything can be drilled down to very simple things. Like as complex as the problem could be. Like you've got 6 different people that are being difficult in your life at the same time, and so you're sitting there going, "Oh, what do I do?"
You're stumped.
Right, but that's because you're trying to, in one fell swoop, fix all 6 problems because you think it's one problem.
Okay. So you think we evaluate problems wrongly?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying because the economy.
It's a big problem.
Well, it's complex because it has lots of moving parts,
It's extremely complex.
and you can't just when you pull one string in one area, then you get another loose end at this other area, and then it's like a weird quilt or a weave. I don't know.
But wait, just because something's simple doesn't mean... I mean, you're saying nothing's complex.
Right, but I don't mean simple as easy.
So,
For example,
yeah, good.
simple solution to weight loss. Right?
Which is?
Don't eat.
Eat less.
You say don't eat at
Eat
all?
less.
I think eat less would be more of a better solution. Like don't eat. Like
Don't eat, you'll
there's
just
plenty of
die.
African kids who are not eating. They've lost plenty of weight.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less.
I think okay. Let's go. What if it's
But it's simple. It's simple sounding. It's really easy. You want result, A to come out, then you have to do this. That's not easy,
don't eat
especially here in this country.
to eat healthy?
Well, just to not eat. I mean, the land of plenty.
There's so much food everywhere.
So much food, so many options, so
Land of
many
buffets.
ways to.
Full Little Caesars and dumpsters. Anyways, keep going.
Yes. There's so many ways to eat. And really the only way to lose weight is to not eat.
If you're just strictly wanting to lose a bunch of weight, like there's a difference between wanting to lose weight and wanting to become healthier. That's a different thing.
Well, that's a totally different thing.
Totally different thing.
You
So
want to
I
be
see what you mean.
You want to be healthier? Well, that's actually that in a seemingly simple sounding idea is very complex because there's a whole lot of moving parts to being healthier.
Weight loss is only a part of being healthy.
Weight loss is not necessarily healthy.
True.
There are people that would be considered overweight, but for somehow they can run triathlons. They have really low resting heart rates. They got good numbers. Triglycerides, this and that. They just happen to be fat.
Those are like little hidden gems. Like those cars who look like crap on the outside, but they're amazing engines on the inside. I forgot what the
Exactly.
term is. It's like that for a larger
Yeah.
human.
I don't know what the term is either, but yeah, you get the gist.
I
You
guess
get the
what you're
drift.
saying.
So there are there's tons of complex problems out there. But to me, a complex problem is just a whole bunch of simple problems bundled up.
So if we had broken down our problems, you think we'd be better at it?
I personally do. I don't know what you guys think about it or what your attitude towards it is, but my personal philosophy is there's really no complex. You don't need to come up with a complex solution to a complex problem.
What if you just make everything complex, though?
Then that's your bag.
Because that's what I do.
That's your deal, and that's the cross you have to bear in life.
I have that same problem. I tend to over complex situations or
You'll make a
problems.
simple proposal, or you'll make a simple situation complicated.
I have very much that issue. It's an overthinking thing, or like I just need to break it down, like you say, and you can pretty much fix most problems if you just do it step by step. It's the need to want to do it all at once that gives me the anxiety that I like I can't do this. It's too complicated. Just relax and do one at a time.
Well,
You need like Dave. And
no,
your,
I would like to.
and your boat.
I would like to propose a slight deviation from our one topic.
By the way, I thought you were going to say Simple Simon before.
No, and we will, because I want to know the psychology of wanting to make things complex, because I have very little experience with that.
All right, go for it.
So both of my somewhat esteemed colleagues to my left
I
and
knew
right.
you were going to say somewhat esteemed.
Oh, you're so sweet.
He was thinking esteemed, and then he was like somewhat esteemed.
I was thinking more steamed vegetable.
Okay. Now,
Steamed.
you guys are so lucky you're out of arm's reach. Now, you guys both claim that you like to complexify, to complicate matters in life.
Yep.
Or not that you like it, but you actually do it. So I'm kind of wondering how that manifests. How does that happen? So you see like a complex problem going on.
First thing you do is freak out.
Step one. There are steps to these things.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You look at the whole, instead of looking at the problem individually like little things, you look at the whole picture. And you're like, you start freaking out immediately. You're like, holy shit, there's six individual problems, which means I have one humongous problem. And that's when all the thoughts start to crawl in. You're not going to be able to do this problem if you don't finish this problem, with that problem going with that problem, and that problem needs to go with that problem.
Is that a way to keep from doing anything?
It definitely is a valid excuse. Like, this is so complex, I should just give up and not do shit.
Okay.
See, I don't even think at that stage I'm thinking about it in terms of different, like, oh, this is a bunch of different problems. I'm just like looking at the whole thing and being like, oh my God, this is so complicated and so difficult. Where do I even begin? And then like, there isn't a process of taking it, of kind of reading the whole and then taking a step back and processing it. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to start with this like one little piece here. And then I'm sure I'll be able to like figure it out as I go along. And then like sometimes that just shit goes off the rails at that point.
But I do that every now and then too. Just
No.
dive in.
No, you kind of don't though. Like if it's like, because I've observed Dave with very complicated legal stuff where, you know, basically, because I'm pretty good if it's like stuff we've done before, or if it's stuff where I can find some resources and kind of figure it out that way. But if I can't find anything, if it's like we've got to start at ground zero and do something completely new and different, like I'm like, like what am I gonna do? And Dave will like, you'll sit there and like process it and like think about it and like take a step back and then I don't know what's going on in your brain, but I assume your brain is kind of like looking at the big picture and then going, oh, let's break it down into this stuff. And then invariably I'll be thinking, oh, he's just sitting over on the couch not doing shit, like watching TV and like having a cup of coffee. And then you'll be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is where we're going to start. This is the steps we need to take.
How long does that usually take?
It depends. Sometimes it takes hours.
Yeah, it must be a really complex problem then.
Sometimes it takes a day or two or a day, but then invariably when you say, okay, this is what we're going to do, I'm just like, phew. And then the stress, like, it's like way less stressful at that point.
It's me not wanting to deal with it.
Oh,
That's honestly it. It's like, all right, I know I can do it, and if I break it down, fuck, I don't want to deal with it. So I'm going to overcomplicate it, and so I have a valid excuse for me not to do it. It's not a healthy mentality, and I'm getting better at getting out of my head and just dealing with it. But
because for you, there's no option to not do it.
yeah, at a certain point, it's like, if I don't get it done, then it's not going to get done, and then I'm fucked either way. So, like, just, you got to tough it out. Get out of your head and just fucking start. I think starting is hard as shit.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, we are out of time. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And if you'd like to complain, you know where to reach us.
All right, thanks for tuning in to Low Fat Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Low Fact. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Low Fat Podcast. If you want to chat to us, send us some comments, or have us talk about some things, just send an email to lowfatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Twitter and Instagram pages at lowfatpodcast, and also check out Andy's pages where he mixes our beats, Twitter and Instagram at Fantasy Beat, and you can also find his wicked ass shit on SoundCloud at Artificial Fantasy.